Hi friends, and welcome to Coursetakes Walmart Leadership Assessment Test Preparation. We're going to give you some tips and tricks to succeed on your Walmart Leadership Assessment Test. Alright, so let's get started right away. Well, the first thing that you've got to understand is that if you are applying for managerial positions at Walmart, you're going to be required to pass something known as the Walmart's Leadership Assessment. And they're basically two separate tests, which they call as the Walmart Supervisor Leadership Assessment Test, which is called the SLA, and the Walmart Tactical Leadership Assessment Test, which is the TLA. Now, both these tests are computer-based and they contain questions that are situational. The SLA is typically administered before the TLA, so you can expect the TLA to be slightly more difficult than the SLA, as the Walmart Tactical Leadership Assessment involves a higher level of management, okay? And then if you pass both tests, you may find that your SLA result is deleted from your record, since the Tactical Leadership Assessment carries greater value than the Supervisory Leadership Assessment test, the SLA. All right, so expect to do these two tests. Expect them to be, one to be more difficult than the other. They're computer administrated and they're all situational judgment tests. Okay, so and we'll talk about what that is. So first of all, who takes the SLA and the TLA? Now, these are pre-employment assessments. So if you're, applying for a managerial position at Walmart, before they actually get you into the overall interview, process, into the interview loop, they want to just make sure that you're, well prepared for, the upcoming job, and you can handle these managerial and situational leadership questions appropriately, and those situations appropriately. So it's really all about making sure that they do a pre-employment assessment with you before they invite you into the official interview process. So it measures your ability to handle different customer service scenarios, as well as your general attitude towards work, and the test can be between 20 and 60 minutes to complete. And remember, it's all situational judgment based, and whatever that is, we're going to cover in a second what situational. If you have a question in your mind saying what the hell is situational judgment, don't worry, we're going to cover that in great detail. Okay. All right, so the scoring, they're focused on the competitive attitude. You're going to encounter an overall pass-fail for the exam. Okay, so you don't have to worry about, worry that, that you have a particular score, or you've got to get the highest score. It's really about pass and fail, and then the answers are given to you in terms of competitive or non-competitive. Okay, so competitive really just means that, hey, you've passed the exam. A non-competitive means that you have not passed in the exam. So your future at Walmart is going to depend on the results of this SLA as well as this TLA. So it's really important to make sure that you get a competitive score, you get a pass score for the exam before you can proceed with the interview process. So it's really important that you study really well, you practice really well, you make sure that you're completely in tune with what to expect during the exam. Go in well prepared so that you can pass this exam, and then once you pass this exam, you can just move ahead through the entire interview process completely smoothly. Okay, our goal as part of Coursetake is to help you master this test. Our goal is really to make sure that at the end of the day that you go in completely acing this test. And yes, these can be prepared for. A lot of people feel, well, these pre-employment tests, you can't really prepare for. You just have to go in, you just have to, give whatever comes to your mind, just give the first answer or whatever just makes sense. It's really about testing, there's no preparation. And I completely disagree, because, there are tips and techniques and tricks that you can follow to help you get the best score on this exam. And, my general attitude and approach to any of these tests, or even interviews in general, is, well, you get one shot in life. Why not just prepare your best? Why not give it your best? Why not just give it your all? I mean, if you study for 1, 2, 3 hours, is that going to make a big difference to your life? No. If you just take 3 hours off one day, or take half a day off from your work or your school or wherever you are right now, and just prepare hard, you're going to significantly improve your chances of getting that next job. That job could be a life changer for you. It could, be that next big thing for you. So why give it up just for, just because someone said that, you can't prepare for this exam? Who cares about what the world says? What's important is that you really just focus on making sure that you prepare well for this test and ace this test going forward. Okay, so yes, these can be prepared for. Don't listen to the naysayers, don't listen to the people around you, don't listen to current or former Walmart employees. Just know that you can prepare for these tests, and we've seen it with the 500,000 plus students that we have trained as part of Coursetake. Okay, so, and how are we going to do so? Situational judgment tests. You've got to ace the concept of SJTs, what they call them, situational judgment tests. You've got to make sure that you completely ace these tests. So let's understand a little more what these situational judgment tests are and what you can really expect on your Walmart leadership assessment test. So situational judgment tests are an effective way to, basically give you a real life situation. Okay, and it allows employers to evaluate your behavioral skills before the jobs. They're normally tailored in categories such as customer service, sales, call center representative, and these are positions that Walmart normally hires for. Okay, so something to remember, they're going to give you a situation, a real life situation, and then they want to see how you react to that particular situation. And that's why it's called a situational judgment test. They want to test your judgment in a particular situation, specifically at the leadership level. Okay, so the formats can vary differently, but in general the structure is very simple. It's going to give you either a written text of some sort of a simulation that includes, it could include some video, it could include sound, images, but most likely it's just going to be text. But it's a simulation of a particular scenario. That scenario represents some sort of a conflict, some sort of a situation, and they want to test your judgment in how do you respond to that particular situation. Okay, so here's a sample question, right? Hey, a customer calls the customer service line and he says that because he has waited so long, he is now in a hurry and doesn't have much time to speak. Which of the following is the most appropriate response from the representative? So you can clearly see that you've been given a particular scenario that a customer has called the customer service line. You picked up the phone and now the customer has waited so long that he or she is getting a little pissed now and saying, look, man, I waited so long, now you better, I'm in a hurry, so hurry up. And how would you respond to that particular situation? Well, here are the 4 options that they'll give you, and then you have to select the best option. Well, apologizing for the long wait, okay, suggesting a better time for the customer to call when the line is less busy so that he has time to discuss his problem. Okay, proceeding at your own usual place in order to work through the customer's problem, adjusting yourself to his behavior and showing urgency. So 4 options, you've got to select one option here that represents the best judgment call that you would make in this particular situation. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. So let's take a look at how you would answer this particular question. Well, for one is understand that, it's very important to be able to read through the question carefully and try to understand what the core problem is. A lot of people read between the lines. They try to bring in external data into the problem that the problem does not state. So it's really important to be able to read through the problem correctly and make sure you understand the true problem. And if you read this problem correctly, you can see that the problem is that of being in a hurry. Okay, there could be, multiple issues here that could be happening, but the true problem is some sort of an urgency issue, a hurry issue, a problem that the customer has with time, right? And that's what's going on here if you think about it really carefully. Is some sort of a urgency, time, hurry, that is the problem. Don't bring in external data into the question. Focus on what data the question has. And the question is saying, look, this customer is angry because of that time problem, that he or she is feeling that urgency and needs to move on with his or her day. And how do you respond to that? Now let's look at the answer choices. Let's eliminate the ones that don't make sense and then discuss among the ones that make sense, which are the ones that we want to choose as our final answer. Okay, so the first one is answer A, apologizing for the appropriate long wait. Yes, that's a good answer, right? That's the first thing you want to do. If a customer calls up and says, look, I'm really angry, I need to move on now, you better hurry up right now. Well, the first thing you should do as a customer service representative is apologize for the long wait. So this is not a bad answer. So let's keep A as a good answer and let's move on. What about number B? Well, suggesting that a better time for the customer to call when the line is less busy so that he has the time to discuss his problem. That's not the best answer, right? Would you actually imagine if you called up customer service and the person on the line said, why don't you call later? when it's less busy. That would be bad, right? That would be bad for customer service. It would not really solve his or her problem. So that's an answer you want to eliminate. So B is definitely an answer choice that you want to eliminate. So we're going to keep A because that's something you should do, apologize. Number 2 is B, you want to just eliminate that. What's number C? So C was proceeding at your usual pace in order to work through the customer's problem. That sounds like a negative answer, right? That, a customer's called, a customer is, angry, the customer has an issue of time, and then you're just doing your own thing. How would you feel that if you walked into a store or you called up customer service and, that person never paid attention to you or, never gave you what you needed? Okay? So C is also a bad answer that shows that, look, you're not addressing my need right now. You should be working for me. Why aren't you doing that? So it's again something that you want to eliminate. So we're going to keep A, B, and C we can eliminate. Let's look at number D. So D was adjusting yourself to his behavior and showing urgency. So this is another good answer, right? It talks about, look, you've called me, you're in a hurry, now I should be in a hurry for you, right? And that's what is expected out of good customer service. And that's what D is basically talking about. So D is another good answer. So we've eliminated B and C, and now we are choosing between A and D. So between A and D, which one addresses the problem in hand? Apologizing for the long wait or adjusting yourself to his behavior and showing urgency? Remember, when we looked at the problem carefully, we said, look, the problem is that of time. It's about urgency. It's about like, help me fast. And so D is a better answer that is helping serve the problem in question. It addresses the problem the customer has. There you go, my friends. By just reading the question properly, by understanding what the core problem is, your best answer is D. Okay, so that's how you have to think through some of these questions, is by really taking the time, understanding the core problem at hand, understanding not you don't want to bring in external data, eliminating the answer choices that don't make any sense. Between the ones that make sense, pick the one that really addresses the problem that the customer is facing. Okay. So that's an approach. Now you're going to get tons of these kind of questions, not only at the individual contributor level like this one is, but also at the managerial level, very specific manager situations where, you have to do performance reviews of employees. You've got to, deal with people and conflict situations. And there are tons of different situations that you will be, asked to decipher and figure out, how do you deal with and show your situational judgment in those cases. And so the good news is that we have done all the work for you, tons of work for you. We've created a comprehensive course that's going to help you ensure that you ace your upcoming Walmart leadership assessment test. And this is done by Coursetake. And a little bit about us as a company. Our mission at Coursetake is really to help every student and professional ace his or her upcoming interview. And we do that through company and position specific interview preparation. Now, I truly believe, as the founder of Coursetake, that the way to prepare for an interview is to really go deep into that company, into that position, into that particular industry, and really understand truly what that company cares about, and then position yourself as a solution to that company's problems. This is not some generic interview preparation. It is related to Walmart's leadership assessment interview preparation, and that's how we have approached all the courses, all the interview preparation that you see on the Coursetake site. And we've done that with over 500,000 students in over 100 countries, across the globe. So we're really proud of what we've achieved, and we would like to help you ace your Walmart assessment test. And so what we're going to do as part of this entire course, we're going to give you, a comprehensive way, a video course on how to ace your SJT. So what I showed you today was just a preview of one question. We're going to do that across, tons of other, questions, tips and tricks. I'm going to show you how to approach each and every question. We're going to show you how to break things down. And by the end of the day, you should be, well versed in how to approach each and every question that you get in your SJT. So as part of the course, you're first going to get how do you ace your SJT, a complete video course. Then we're going to give you 5 situational judgment tests that you need to practice to make sure that you feel confident before going into your exam. Okay, so we're going to give you 5 situational judgment tests, but even more, we're going to give you 5 managerial situational judgment tests. Okay, so this is going to, add on. So you're going to get a total of 10 tests. 5 are just basic situational judgment questions, and then 5 managerial specific judgment questions. And each of them contain 10 to 12 questions each. So just, if you do the math, that's, over, there's 10 tests and 10 questions each. That's over 100 questions that you're going to practice before you go in, okay? And you're going to get answers with detailed explanations. So, if you're ever confused as why this answer was picked versus the other, then you're going to get each and every answer has detailed explanation. So you don't have to worry about anything. And so, all I can say is, my friends, if you want to significantly improve your chances of acing your upcoming Walmart leadership assessment test, you want to join us, get access to the members area, get access to all those tests. Our prices are not high. I truly believe that, interview preparation, I've seen people out there charge thousands of dollars for some of their courses and to help students with their interview. I mean, I wouldn't have that kind of money when I was a student, when I was younger. So there's no way we can charge, much. We want to charge a little amount so that we can keep the lights running, we can keep developing more courses, we can help more students globally. So, there's really much that we make out of this. This is something that is born out of our passion for this space. So all I can say is, if you can join us, you can get access immediately. We'd love to help you ace your Walmart leadership assessment test, give you all the tips and tricks, give you, everything that is needed to go and ace that test right now. So, and if you decide not to join us, all I can say is please practice. Make sure you get some practice before you go in. All right, my friends, take care. Best of luck. I wish you all the best in life and everything that you do. And I'm sincerely hoping that you get that job at Walmart and you do well for yourself. Take care, my friends. Bye.